Horizon Theory. Um, let's go right to the new album, Mission Control.
Yeah.
I guess that'll be on Mindful Records or recordings.
Yeah, it's so we're we kind of partnered with a company called Mindful Music Promotions, Mindful Records. It's basically someone we met via Morgan, who we worked with on our new songs, and he runs a promotion company and kind of a distribution company. So instead of say using DistroKid or 1RPM, Mindful Recordings is the distributor for our music,
Right.
and they seem to do really well for the artists. You know, they do more as far as playlist pitching and trying to grow the artist, not just drop your music and walk away kind of thing. It's been going well. So our Spotify's been growing exponentially since they took over our last album, Radio Silence, and seems like a good thing. So.
Mhm.
Can you tell me anything about any of the tracks that are going to be on the album?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, if you've heard Transcendence, there's a few
Yes.
tracks that kind of that are in that realm and that the same kind of genre, same kind of sound, breakdowns,
Right.
some clean vocals. I think the lyrics on these songs are great. They're touching. A lot of people I think are going to be able to relate to pretty much all the songs. I can't stop listening to it, and I wish we could have dropped the album when we dropped Transcendence.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're excited. So yeah,
Wow. So you got what, 4 months to wait?
yeah,
Right.
roughly, yeah, yeah.
It depends on a couple factors. We may get crazy and just put the album out, January or February. I
Yeah.
don't know. It depends on. We've got to also kind of coordinate and see what Morgan's thinking. Maybe if we should kind of hold off and build some more songs with it, and look at some different avenues. But right
Yeah.
now, we're pretty much set on March. So
Yeah, this is the first time that we have veered away from just kind of Chris and I writing and
Uh-huh.
worked with somebody like Morgan Rose or like a producer type figure.
Right.
So we want to do it right, you know. We're kind of doing it a little differently than what we normally do,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's been exciting. The writing process, all that was great. So it's exciting. Can't come
Cool.
out soon.
yeah.
Tell me about each member of the band. A little bit of history on them.
Well, I'm Josh, by the way. I'm the singer. Born in small town Indiana, moved to Michigan when I was 13, 14. Played sports growing up. Loved the outdoors. I like to fish. I hunt a little bit. Kind of music's kind of always been in the backdrop of my life. I never thought I would become a singer, but I've been singing since day one. Not in front of people so much, but I've always kind of had that rock star mentality in the back of my head.
Right.
I was when everybody else was getting into, like through high school, like getting into, Godsmack or Disturbed and stuff like that. I was still stuck in the 80s and the
Mhm.
early, from
Still are.
yeah. I still am, and you kind of hear some of that in some of my vocals. I think on some of our tracks, especially on Radio Silence. Um, I don't try to; it just kind of comes out that way. But yeah, kind of. I was in a couple local bands here in Michigan. I got into I think the first band I joined, I believe I was 30.
Wow.
I've been doing this about 10 years, 10 or 11 years. And, we did local stuff, covers, started writing originals and on to another band. And then I kind of met these guys in 2022 and this started as a project and we were going to take our time with it. And then before you know it, it just kind of started taking off.
Cool. So when you were a little younger, when you were starting to learn about vocals and stuff like that, when you're in the bathroom in front of that mirror, who'd you make believe you were?
Oh man. Ozzy Osbourne, Sebastian Bach, Jeff Tate.
Uh,
Um, I can't think of the guy's name right now. I got a brain fart. But the singer for Tesla, I'm a big Tesla fan, and I can't think of his name for some reason. Uh, yeah, and those guys mainly. Now it's like I'm in the shower doing Miles Kennedy, Alter
uh,
Bridge tune.
cool.
You know,
Definitely.
obviously Axl Rose, like I was, you know, I love singing anything Guns N' Roses, all the high stuff. I love. I've always been into that since I was a kid, and even to this day, I kind of never lose. You know, I can't lose it.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Cool. And how about you, Chris? Tell me a little bit about your background.
Born and raised in mid Michigan. I strangely enough, I had never thought about playing music or being a musician until I was about 21. I got this video game called Guitar Hero,
Uh-huh.
and I got like totally obsessed with it, and ended up. And even at that point, I never thought I could actually play a real guitar.
Right.
But kind of got me more my mind like thinking about music, and just happened to be in like a department store one year after Christmas, and they had like a after Christmas sale on this cheap like first act guitar thing amp combo.
Did you say it was like Coles?
It was Kohl's. Yeah, it was in Kohl's, and they had like a guitar amp combo thing for sale for $100, a whole stack
Uh-huh.
of them. Like, fuck, that might be fun. You know, maybe I'll see. You know what this is like.
Uh-huh.
And I bought it and had no idea at all what I was doing. But I got obsessed totally with it, and I couldn't stop playing. And but I could never figure out how to get that distortion sound like from rock or like I'm banging the
Right.
string clean. It's like a Fender.
Right.
I went into a local music store one day, and one of the sales reps was showing me this amp. It's called a Fender Cyber Twin amp, and he put it on a channel that had like crunch. I'm like, wait, what was that? What is
Mhm.
that? How
Uh-huh.
are you doing that? And he was like,
Right.
oh, that's the crunch channel. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I need.
Uh-huh.
So I got hooked on it, and I ended up selling my house in 2013. I was 28 or 29 years old. Hell, I don't know.
Mhm.
I was in my mid 20s. I sold my house. I applied at Musicians Institute in LA. And I moved out there and went to school for a couple years at MI, did the music business program, marketing, and then the guitar program. Um, and so I kind of just decided like this is what I love doing, and I want to try to figure out how to do this, you know, with my life.
Cool.
And that, you know, that's pretty much it.
Cool.
So,
Cool. So when you were playing air guitar, tell me a little bit about who who you think you were or would you want to be?
you know, when I really got into playing guitar, and it was like probably 2006 was when I got my first guitar,
Mhm.
2006, 2007. And at the time, I was just obsessed with Bullet for My Valentine, Killswitch Engage, In Flames, all of that kind of stuff. Like, I guess you'd call it metalcore, or I don't know. I'm not big with genres, but I think it was metalcore. And I loved all that stuff, you know, Mudvayne. And, you know, I guess probably, you know, one of my favorite guitar duos would be like, you know, Bullet for My Valentine. Uh, those guys just shred. I love the way they play and harmonize together. Um, but yeah, you know, as far as like imagining I was one of those guys, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't really know if I ever did that. I just tried to learn all their riffs. So
Cool. 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 What's your feeling about they're trying to make AI a new genre? What's your feelings on that?
Uh, they're trying to make it a new genre, like a separate
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was on the news actually, CNN
oh,
News.
they're topping the charts. Like country music's number one
Yeah, that's
song.
what I heard.
We're probably all screwed. This is
Uh,
probably the end. You know what I mean? Like if you can AI a song and it actually ends up probably sounding really good, and like
uh-huh.
everybody's screaming that, you know, who do you pay for royalties when it's a robot? I don't know. We're probably
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Cool.
So
Cool. Yeah. I heard one song on Facebook and I really liked it and stuff. And I guess I feel like an asshole because I wrote them and it's AI. And they're like,
isn't that wild?
yeah, that's sad.
It
Actually,
is sad.
I think AI is slowly picking apart or picking away at like our careers. Like, you know, for instance, one of the things I've thought a lot about is there's been a lot of uproar lately about artists,
right,
musicians now using AI for like cover art or videos.
right,
And I get the frustration um, because AI is taking money from these people and taking their jobs.
right.
And on the flip side, from a musician standpoint, we haven't been getting paid for our shit since Napster.
Right.
And,
Yeah. Wow.
you know, and then at the same time, and now the way it works, because it's so hard to be heard, is we're not just writing music and paying to do it and putting it out for you to listen to for free.
Right.
You don't even hear it unless we pay for playlisting to get
Right.
on playlists for you to hear it. So we're like, we're doing it for free. We're paying for you to even hear it.
Right.
And it's like, you know, as far as graphic artists or, you know, music video guys, like, you know, we're in this too. Like, you know, you know, it's a bad deal for everybody. So
Yeah.
Tell me about the song Handlebars, 2023. Was that your first release?
No, we'd put out we put out an EP before that. Yeah. Yeah, we put out an EP before that, but that's actually a cover song that we did
Right.
by Flowbots.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you know, we kind of put that out with everything that was kind of going on. I mean, it's still going on in the government, the politics, the
Right.
economy, just the world in general, other countries.
It's relevant.
It's very relevant, and you know, it was we wanted to do something that was kind of upbeat and fun, and it kind of
Right.
meant something, and that was a little out of our realm.
Right.
And we'd come across that song, which we all knew, and I don't remember who brought it up, but it was like, man, that's perfect for right now. So it worked out, and
Right.
you know, a lot of people we get hate when we tour and we don't play that song live. They're like, "Are you guys gonna do? Are you guys gonna play Handlebars tonight?" And it's like, you know, we've only ever played it live once.
Right.
We can
Yeah.
do it, but it's just, you know what I mean.
We actually
Yeah.
we took that out of the set.
Oh,
We didn't even end
play that over
up,
there?
we rehearsed it. It didn't come, I
Yeah.
don't think it translated as well live as we thought. At least
Yeah, it might not have. Yeah.
Right.
It was a fun, and that was on a whim. Like, if I remember right,
Yeah.
I came across that song on a playlist on Spotify, and a couple days later mentioned to Josh we should do it. And then we immediately got in and recorded. I recorded some instruments, got him in, he did the vocals. We sent it off to be mixed. In the meantime, we had another music video shoot for a song called Nowhere to Go.
Mhm.
We decided while those guys were here, let's film a video for this Handlebars song too, in case we end up using it.
Right.
And I think the whole process was like in 7 days. Like we recorded it, sent it off to be mixed, filmed the video, and like 7 days later, we had the mix back and the video was done. And it was on a whim. Like, we didn't put a lot of thought into it. It happened quickly.
Yeah, it did.
Right.
Yeah, we filmed 2 videos that day.
Yeah.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about Radio Silence, 2025.
About the album?
Yeah.
Well, that's our first full album that we put out as a band.
Right.
We put out an EP before that called Astronomer. And we wanted to put out a full album. When we put music out, we want it to be us. We want to be as real as we can. So, you know, whether the music goes in this direction or that direction, if it even makes sense really with each other all the time, we wanted to put an album out that really like captured us and our roots, I guess.
Right.
You know, and we wanted to be real with it. So we had already had, you know, a bunch of demos because we'd been writing for a couple of years at that point, and kind of went through them and, you know, started sifting through them. What do we want to do? And it just kind of worked out. And I think there was one song on there right from the start. Is that the one we rushed that we didn't even?
Well, we sent the music off to get mixed on like a Wednesday, and they were going to the following week. And I came into the studio to mess around and try out this new guitar I had gotten. And I came across the riff or whatever for right from the start. And Josh came in on a Sunday and tracked the vocals 2 days later. And that night I printed the stems and sent them off to be mixed. I think we had a total of 3 days into writing that song.
Yeah.
It ended up being my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, same.
Cool.
Weird, but you know.
Cool. When you guys went out on tour with Sevendust and Cold Orgy and stuff like that, what's the feeling like going out, you know, with a real established band?
For me, you know, Chris and Lewis have toured before. you know, in previous bands a little bit years ago. And, you know, this is since 2023, this is all the touring experience is all new to me, you know. So for me, I was just excited. I've never really gotten nervous. Other than, you know, there was an instance we played with Sevendust and our in-ears went out first show of the tour. We just talked about this in another interview. First show of a tour, in-ears went out a minute, 2 minutes before we were to go on stage. And it was like, you know, it's the first time for us. We're with Sevendust. This is a sold out show, Hampton Beach, in Hampton Beach, 2,000 people or more. And we got nothing through our in-ears and we go on in a minute.
Terrifying.
You know. And so that it was a little nerve-wracking then. For me, I know for all of us. But other than that, I think it's been an honor. It's been a dream. I never would have thought I'd been on a stage with Cold, Orgy, Ed PE, Sevendust, you know, especially. I never would have thought we'd ever got to this point. But getting to that point is almost more exciting for me.
Cool.
We've been grinding for years, and it's like we're ready. I'm ready personally, you know. So you know, and I know everybody's just normal, famous musicians. They're just normal people. So, and I've never really been starstruck. So, because I had to live my life, you know, nobody lives in. It's like, you know, when you kind of have that mindset, it's like everybody's just, you know, nobody's anybody really.
Right.
And and you know, in a humble way, I guess I should say, you know. So just more excitement for me on these tours, and it's just been an honor. I mean, these guys were idols, you know.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Chris?
There's a huge level. The second we pull out of the driveway in the RV and head to the first show, everybody's just amped on cloud nine. You get a little to the venue, it's like, shit, what's this band going to be like to tour with? They're going to be cool, but not. You know, you don't know what kind of tour it's going to be until you get into it. And for me, the biggest thing is like I have this intense fear that we're going to get to our first show and our gear isn't going to work.
Yeah.
That just like, you know, you want your first impression to a new to be like you're not prepared. And never know sometimes with your stuff. So like there's always that nervousness. And really leading up to the start of the set, you also don't know how each crowd, you know, how each fan base is gonna like take to you.
Right.
So you're always a little like, I don't know if this crowd is gonna dig us.
Right.
So and that usually lasts until about the third song. You know, you get into that third song and there's a moment in our third song with like a really heavy bridge. And we all go to the front of the stage, kind of headbang and synchronization with each other. And when you look up and the crowd's like, you see, you know, half the crowd's got their hands in the air with like the mouth horns, like, okay, fuck yeah, we got them. Like, we're good.
Good.
This is gonna be, we're gonna be okay out here on this one. So that's the moment for me. About halfway through the third song, that's telling for me. So,
what's the feeling like? Like you say, you're doing a live show now. Now you're off stage and stuff and hanging out and stuff. And people want your autograph. What's that feeling like? You know, someone want your autograph.
I feel like I'm like, are you sure you want my autograph?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know that we're just a brand new little band, right? Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
When I go home, I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
You know, just like you.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. It's pretty cool. I mean, the coolest aspect in that part for me is how hearing the stories on, you know, how they relate to your music.
Right.
You know, Nowhere to Go is a song, more of a ballady kind of song-ish. You know, it touches on like suicide, substance abuse, stuff like that, you know, alcoholism, things like that. And the stories that you hear, I mean, the tears that I've seen shed at our merch table in 2 years after our set. And even when I'm playing that song and I look down and I see, you know, people who you'll see people tearing up who've never seen us before.
Right.
You'll see ones that know every word to that song. And you get both of them at the merch booth, and the stories you hear are just like, you know, they shed a tear, you shed a tear, they walk away, you sit there and think about it, you shed another tear. You know what I mean? It's like it kind of puts me in this spot where it's very, it's really humbling.
Mhm.
And it's like, it's like a gift.
Right.
It's like it's like they're giving you this gift, when they tell you, when they're telling you these stories, and then how much the song means to them. It's like, you almost can't fathom like that something I wrote, something
Mhm.
that we did like this.
Right.
It's hard to think about that, like in your own music. There's a ton
Right.
of music that do that to me, that does that to me. So
Right.
it's hard. I got to keep telling myself that, the way I feel about, See You on the Other Side by Ozzy Osbourne or something, like
Right.
they're getting that off of one of our songs. Like that's the biggest gift.
Right.
I mean,
It's
it's goosebumps in itself. I mean, if I don't make a penny off of music my entire life, to have that and those interactions, you won,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it's to know that and that's a big motivator to like
Huge.
keep going.
Mhm.
Tours can get grueling. They can become a grind. They can get, it gets tough being on the road.
Right.
So those moments definitely, they keep you motivated to keep struggling through stuff, and then get home and keep writing music.
Right.
It's a big motivator. So
Will this new release come out on vinyl?
Yeah, we're thinking so. We're
just
kind
gonna
of
have to
weighing the options.
Yeah.
Yeah, we keep getting asked that.
keep getting asked
Uh-huh.
that for some reason. We might as well get some vinyl.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we've been asked at shows a lot too. It's like, are you guys gonna get vinyl? And it's a big
Yeah.
thing right now. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Cool.
more than likely.
Cool. You guys have any merch? You just talked about merch. Can you tell me a little bit about your merchandise and where people could get it?
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not sure of the website right now, but if you go to any of our socials, there will be a link tree at the top.
Right.
/Horizon Theory, and if you
Yeah.
click that, there's a shop button in there. We have a ton of items online. I mean, we have
Good.
shoes, duffel bags, coffee cups, like shirts. You name it. We have a ton of stuff on there. At some point, I want to get some of it. I don't even have any. I think we have one. I have the duffel bag. It's,
Yeah.
Cool.
but I want to. So we have some cool stuff on there. So if anybody wants some merch, we would
Yeah.
definitely appreciate it.
And a lot of that stuff is stuff that we don't normally take on tour either.
Yeah.
The website stuff.
Right.
Tours usually, shirts, little knickknacks, stuff like that. Your normal stuff. But online, there's a pretty big selection.
Yeah, well, Josh, if you get to go out with anybody you wanted to on tour, who would it be?
Right now, if we had an offer to go on tour,
Right.
I would right now I would have to say a Creed. Yeah, Creed or
Wow.
Alter Bridge. I mean,
Yeah.
they're back. They were never gone. You know what I
Right.
mean? Really, if you're a Creed fan, I mean, which we all are.
Mhm.
They were never gone, but they're back. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And they're doing it big. I mean, they're doing it big. Their whole crew, their stage crew,
Mhm.
just everything about them. I mean, they're doing it big. And if we could jump on a tour and be a one of three or a one of four,
Mhm.
Creed would be ideal.
Yeah.
Would be ideal for us. And I think the fan base is right in our, our
Style.
our realm. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I saw Scott's staff, his solo tour and stuff like that, and I photographed. I'm a photographer, a concert photographer, so
Right.
I got to photograph that show. He was amazing, even as a solo
Yeah.
artist. Amazing. You know.
We got to see when we were on tour this past August. We were out with Head PE, and we just happened to have our tours kind of overlap. They were playing Mountain View, California, with Mammoth, Wolfgang Van Halen,
Right.
Shoreline Theater, I think.
Shoreline Amphitheater. Yep, Mountain View, California. We got to go to the show. Just epic, huge show, and great music. Top of the line musicianship. Just a lot of. I could watch that show every night. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
it was pretty cool too because we got back. We were on tour, so we had our bus and the trailer and our name
Right.
and all that. And man, they slid us right in there at band parking, right next to frickin' Mammoth, right next to Creed.
Right.
Our bus is right
They were
there.
probably like, who the fuck are these
Yeah,
guys?
yeah. So, but it was cool, man. Got to see the guys in Sevendust again. Kind of bullshit with them a little bit, real fast. You know, the guys in Mammoth, John Jordan and stuff. We got to hang with him for a little bit outside the bus, and the show was amazing. I think there was 30,000 people there,
Wow.
and every seat was full, and it was Creed's doing their thing. That's for sure, and so is Sevendust. I mean, you know. And Mammoth's on a huge come up too right now.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they got a good thing going on over there, and yeah, Creed would be amazing to play
How
with.
about you, Chris? Same thing?
Well, that too, but also like, 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin,
Yeah.
Right.
Chevelle, Seether. I like all those bands. Gosh, the number one band though.
Bullet would be huge for
Yeah.
me personally to play with too.
Bullet for
big
My
Bullet.
Valentine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't know how this would work, but because of the Horizon word, but Bring Me the Horizon. I'm a huge Bring Me the Horizon fan. Not how we picked our name, a lot of people, but it was coincidental. But yeah, any of those bands we'd love to tour with. So
Cool. Well, you guys, thanks for the chat. I appreciate it. Horizon Theory,
Absolutely.
Mission Control, March 2026. Make sure you support it. Check out the videos. I know you guys got a lot of videos out there.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
Chris?
hey, we appreciate, everything. Every time you guys come to a show, buy a merch item, message us, even just share one of our videos on Facebook, stream our music. We appreciate everything, and we love all you guys. So
Yeah. Same, man. Yeah, you guys had our back since day one. Still got it with everything we do. So can't thank you guys enough. And then guys like you, doing these interviews and podcasts and stuff, pushing bands like us along. I mean, that's huge.
yes,
That's huge. Without you guys, it'd be that much harder for us to
do anything.
keep the dream alive.
Yeah.
So yeah, so super big thanks to you, man.
Great. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you later, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.